I don't know, Mr. Sommer.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the National Certification Body of Jamaica's Stakeholder Session, NCBJ, Facilitating Sustainable Growth Through Certification. My name is Terza James Noel, Certification Officer here at the NCBJ, and I'll be your moderator for this morning's session. Thank you for taking the time out to join us today. In this intrinsically connected age that now
National
exists,
Certification Body of
standing
Jamaica.
out from your competitor is deemed a necessity for business survival and growth. This morning, the National Certification Body of Jamaica will be sharing with you our certification services and how it can lead your organization towards sustainable growth and to help sustain competitiveness. At this time, I'll just go through a few guidelines for our meeting, which will be projected on the screen shortly. Is everyone hearing me okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, so please mute microphone when not speaking. Camera, please be mindful of your background when you turn on your camera. Use the raise hand feature to ask a question if you have one. And you can, of course, use the chat feature to make comments or to ask questions. And please maintain respect for everyone as you share in this session. Now, after the presentations, we will be having a question and answer session. So please note any questions you may have for the NCBJ team. Before we get into our presentation, we'll be doing a little survey and we will be asking for your participation, please. So we'll issue the survey at this time. Check in the chat and you'll see the link for the survey.
I'll see.
Hi.
Are you seeing the survey in the chat?
No. I saw the link, but clicked on it, nothing happening.
All right, it has been reposted. Can you try it now to see if you're getting through? Okay, thank you, Anne-Marie. Okay, good, good. For those who may just be joining, we have a survey in the chat. You may go ahead and participate, please. We crave your involvement in this survey. It's a quick one, won't take long, a couple of minutes. Thank you so much. All right, we'll give about another minute for the survey. All right, so we're currently completing the survey that's in the chat. All right, has everyone gotten a chance to complete the survey? Raise a hand. Or I can just type yes in the chat. Yes. All right, thank you, Lenworth, Mr. Collins. Thank you, Lanicia. Yes. Thank you, Anna Kay. All right, Saskia, see that hand? All right, a few more seconds. Look like some person's still in process. So let's give them a few more seconds before we proceed. Okay. All right, 15 more seconds, and then we'll be heading into a video presentation. All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. All right, thank you everyone for participating in the survey. And if you're still in process, you can continue and finish off during the video presentation that we'll have at this time.
When your business is certified by the National Certification Body of Jamaica, it means that your business is operating using globally competitive standards. And that's something worth investing in. Certification you can bank on, literally. Now your business is ready to go places. Get ready to succeed with NCBJ, your key to scalability. Compete globally. When your business is certified by the National Certification Body of Jamaica, it means that your business is operating using globally competitive standards, and that's something worth investing in. Certification you can bank on, literally. Now your business is ready to go places. Get ready to succeed with NCBJ, your key to scalability. Compete globally. When your business is certified by the National Certification Body of Jamaica, it means that your business is operating using globally competitive standards, and that's something worth investing in. Certification you can bank on, literally. Now your business is ready to go places. Get ready to succeed with NCBJ, your key to scalability.
Okay, get ready to succeed. Scalability, what are the key terms you hear? Growth, get ready for export. So that's what the NCBJ can offer through certification. So at this time, I'll invite the manager of the NCBJ, Mrs. Navinia Wellington Ford, who will be telling us a little bit more about the organization, the National Certification Body of Jamaica. Mrs. Ford, over to you.
Good morning, colleagues. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. It is my pleasure to speak to you this morning about the National Certification Body of Jamaica. Next slide, please. So, who is the National Certification Body of Jamaica, or as we say in short terms, NCBJ? We are a certification body here in the Caribbean. We are accredited, meaning that we have international recognition, and we're here to provide affordable certification services in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean. We do this through competent personnel and using a certification decision that is based on impartiality. Some quick facts about the certification body. We are a regional certification body. As I mentioned before, we provide services in Jamaica and across the region. We were established in April 2007. That's when we started. And then we were accredited in November 2009. We have been maintaining our accreditation from November 2009 until now. This means that the certificates that we issue to our clients have international recognition, and because of this credibility. Next slide. When you look at the certification body and where we sit in terms of the quality infrastructure of a country or quality infrastructure of the region, it means that we are here to provide such a service that we help companies to realize their competitive potential. We give a large amount of support to MSMEs and also our larger businesses to make sure that they can realize their competitive potential. This means that they're able to go across more markets. Through accreditation, we have international recognition, and the certificates that we issued are accepted worldwide. The reality is that certification form falls under what is referred to commonly as conformity assessment. The intention is that activities here, once they are done once, they are accepted worldwide. Next slide. What is it that we do? We have over 17-year proven track record, as I just mentioned. We attained international accreditation in 2009, and we have maintained it. We continue to enable Caribbean businesses to grow their market shares, enter into new market. We have maintained our international recognition from inception. This means that we have implemented standards such as the standards that similar to the standards that you're using and that we are accredited. We have maintained our management systems, and similar to you, we also get audited. I always like to speak to our audience about the fact that similar to you, we get audited. Similar to you, we are using a standard because we want you to understand that we are right there with you. We understand what is it that you are going through when you implement a standard, what is it that you are going through when you're seeking to maintain the standard, and then to get an external body to come in and review your process, we also understand and appreciate. So I always like to put it there for you so you can get an appreciation. Next slide, please. These are some of the products that we offer currently. We offer certification services in both product and system. Certification services that we offer in terms of system certification, quality management, which is the ISO 9001, and consider this our flagship program. The bulk of our clients are here, and this is a very popular standard worldwide. We also offer food safety management system, such as the ISO 22000. This again is a very popular worldwide standard that deals with food safety, managing the risk that is associated or can be associated with food and the entire food chain. We also have a product certification. These are linked to either the local Jamaican standards or regional standards. Some of these programs are linked to it. For example, HACCP, the HACCP principles. It's a food safety principle, food safety standard, and we have a HACCP certification program that we offer to businesses here in Jamaica and across the region. We also have Global Gap, which is one of our newest products that we're offering. And right now we are speaking to our various farmers because Global Gap is a farm assurance program that is there for the agricultural industry. And we are now seeking to ramp up this service as we meet the needs of our farmers that intend to export to areas such as Europe. So by and large, we have a total of 3 international programs right now and 5 local or regional programs. Next slide, please. When we look at the numbers of the certification body currently, we're very proud of our numbers because we are a regional certification body. We are homegrown, a small certification body, homegrown to scale of what our region, or the scale of our region. And we are now at 95 clients in total and growing. We use over 10 standards, dependent on what is it that we are doing, which program we're working with clients. We use over 10 standards, and we're currently operating in 5 different countries. And we want to grow our numbers because we know that certification and the use of standard will help a business to grow, to help a business to be sustainable. So if you're not part of the 5 countries that we're currently operating our services in, please drop us a chat so that we can get you certified and increase the numbers that our countries that we are currently certified in. Next slide, please. Now, I mentioned earlier about conformity assessment. And on the slide, you will see conformity assessment and certification, because certification is a part of conformity assessment. In business, it's very important for us as business people, whether you're an entrepreneur, you own your own business, or you work a part of an organization. It's very important for us to ask basic questions, a very simple question, but very profound. What is the best way of doing this? And when you ask that question, more than likely, there is a standard that can help you to find the answer. So in your own country, you could speak with your standards body, and they will give you guidance in terms of what standards are available. There are local standards, regional standards, and international standards that will help any business as they are moving forward in turn, because remember, today we're talking about sustainability. A business must be evaluated against the standards because, again, you want to make sure that you are doing the thing the right way. You are doing the thing in such a way that if there are opportunities for improvement, if there are opportunities for growth, then of course you can use the standards as the grounds in which you will improve. Conformity assessment basically means it's a process that shows that a product, a service, or a system meet a specified requirement. And in this instance, the specified requirement will be the standard. For example, the ISO 9001 standard, the HACCP standard, or the global gap standard. That would be the specified requirement, and you are matching as product, service, or system against them to make sure that they meet the requirement. The benefit of conformity assessment includes you have an increased consumer confidence because you're able to show your buyers and the persons and grouping and stakeholders that are interacting with your business, you're able to show them that you have a third-party recognition that has international acceptability. So it therefore increases confidence. And of course, it increases and create a competitive edge. The reality is that a lot of us were in the same business. For example, because of our flourishing environment and climate here in the Caribbean, we have a lot of sunshine, so you find that our agro-processing industries are very strong. So you might have a lot of juice producers, you might have a lot of sauce makers, and we do have our indigenous products. In our own space that we operate, there are a lot of them. There are a lot of juice producers. But what is it that is going to separate you from the others? The reality is that the use of a standard and being certified is one of the ways that you will separate yourself from the others, and therefore we're seeing that it creates a competitive edge. Next slide. Certification. So I have mentioned certification a couple of times already. Let's go into the definition of certification. The operating definition basically means, or basically says, third-party attestation related to products, processes, system, or persons. And if you will recall, maybe one slide or two slides ago, I did mention about processes, products, and system or persons being matched against a requirement. So here now certification is saying to you that there is an attestation. Now, I always find that word as such a strange word. So I like to always say, what does this mean in layman terms? What does this mean in everyday terms? It is basically saying that you are showing evidence that a requirement have been met. So a third party, which is the certification body, in this case, the National Certification Body of Jamaica, we will come in, we will audit you against the requirements of the standard, and then we will give you evidence to show that you have met the requirements of the standard. So the attestation is basically the certificate of conformity that we will issue to you. Certification as it could be a product, process, system, or person, demonstrating through testing and or surveillance, inspection, and auditing. So in our instance, we will audit you. An independent body can't get any more independent than NCBJ, the certification body, third-party certification body with international recognition. We will provide a written assurance that requirements have been met. And this written assurance is the certificate that we will give to you. The certification is confidence building. Accredited certification build trade. Again, I will repeat. Accredited certification builds trade. Next slide, please. Being certified to a standard means that you demonstrate. You're demonstrating to businesses, your consumers, stakeholders, how serious you are about quality, about sustainability, about growth. And that is one of the reasons why it's important for us to have this type of conversation with you today about the use of standard and how is it that we can speak to you and help you about getting your system up and running and growing. It is the end result. This demonstration is the end result of implementing the requirements of a standard. So these standards could be the ISO 9001 standard, it could be the ISO 22000 standard, or it could be the HACCP standard. Those are some of the standards that you could use to get certified to. Please also know that there will be product standards. So if you are a juice manufacturer, it could be a juice standard, or if it is that you have sauces, it could be a sauce standard. It also means consistency. Consistency in ensuring that your company is delivering the levels of quality through well-defined procedures and processes. When it is that you are looking at growing your business, having a sustainable business, you will find that your well-defined procedures and processes will be very important in leading your business to the level that you want it to grow. Then credibility. Remember, we are talking about what being certified to a standard means. It means credibility. Demonstrating that your products and services meets the expectation of the customers. That is very important. Credibility. And it's also going to have referrals that are linked to it, because as persons interact with your businesses and your services, they then will know that you are credible. You would have demonstrated this to them, and therefore they will refer other persons to you to use your businesses or to use your products. Next slide, please. Now, we are talking to you because we are a third-party certification, yes, body, yes. That's one of the reasons why we're talking to you. But we're also talking to you because there is a increased demand for certification, third-party certification. I could do a poll right now and ask the question, and I'm sure that many of you will be answering. And the poll question could be, how many times have you been trying to sell to a particular market or sell to a particular customer, and they're asking you about, are you certified? And they're asking you to show them evidence of this, or they ask you, what type of standards have you been using? They will ask you about GMP certification. I remember speaking to a shipping company recently. They're a courier service, and while they don't have ships themselves, they're not the ones that do it. They are being asked, are you certified? So they decided to speak to the certification body because they have been getting an increased number of requests asking them if they're certified, and what certifications are they using. Each country will have its own regulations and laws, and an exporter needs to abide by these regulations and law. However, sometimes these can cause instances of technical barriers to trade. So there might not be anything wrong, but because a country might have its own laws or the jurisdiction have its own requirements, then you can have a barrier as you try to go into that market. The beautiful thing about certification, I will emphasize this, the intention is that if you are certified once, you are recognized and accepted worldwide. And this is because of the credibility that is given to the certification. You use the same international standard, and you use the same auditing process to evaluate, to make sure that you're meeting the requirement. And as an internationally recognized certification body, it means that we have gone through the rigor of meeting these requirements and maintaining these requirements so that we are able to provide you with a credible source of certification. Next slide, please. Coverage by third-party certification will reduce instances of technical barriers to trade. It will increase confidence in your business, increase consistency of products and service, reduce redundancy in your business, and increase customer satisfaction. Now, let me hasten to say, third-party certification is not a 100% risk-free. We're not saying that. However, we are saying to you that certification, implementing a standard, using a standard, and be certified reduces the probability of risk, the risk that will be seen in your business. So therefore, it's a risk mitigation tool to be used to strengthen your business. And if it is that you're talking about business sustainability, if you're talking about business growth, you definitely need to be controlling your risk and mitigating. So it is very important for you to understand and appreciate exactly why is it that we're speaking about certification, and of course, certification in context of risk management. Next slide, please. Now, we have spoken about certification, giving you the definition of certification. Let's now talk about the process. And we like to say that our process is easy. Maybe should I say as easy as 1, 2, 3, or easy as A, B, C? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. What I will say to you is that right on your screen is giving you a depiction of our process, giving you a map where we're saying to you that we can get you certified in 6 months. 3 to 6 months is usually the timeline that we give to our clients. From we start at month 1, where we will do application on contracting. This is where you as the business and us as a certification body will have a conversation, and the expectations of both parties will be put forward, and then we will get you certified. We will start the process. We then move into your certification or your audits. And these audits now will speak to us doing your stage 1 audit and also your stage 2 audit. We will then go into the getting you, once your audit is completed, we move into your review and your certification decision. Next slide, please. So in a nutshell, that is really the process to get you, that is the introduction of the certification body, and it is the process to get you certified. So we look forward to certifying you, and we say to you that certify with us so that you can compete globally. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ford. All right. So can I see someone typing in the chat something that stuck out to you from the presentation? Type one thing. I know lots of things were said, but something that stuck out to you from the presentation that Mrs. Ford made. You can type your response in the chat. Or if you prefer to speak, you can raise your hand. So one thing that stood out to you from the presentation. I know some key terms that stood out to me. Certification facilitates differentiation. Yes. Yes, Mr. Noel. Newell, sorry. The certification facilitates differentiation. Yes, it makes you stand out from your competitors. Yeah, that's a big thing that certification does. All right, anyone else? Before we continue. Attestation, demonstrating conformance to standard. Yes, Natalie, I see that response. Yes, Mr. Smith, you're saying facilitates access to global markets. That's so true. So true. Richard is saying main point is the NCBJ certification is recognized worldwide. Yes, it's an accredited certification. Kimisha is saying certification boosts confidence. Yes, when your customer be like, yes, man, this person's certified. So I know they're being checked out so I can trust the product and the services. So true. All right, last one here from chat saying one thing that stood out was that you don't do, okay, I hear you. We don't do ISO 45,001. You'll have the opportunity to share that response in the poll survey. But thank you for sharing that, Chad. All right, so we'll continue with our presentations. We'll continue with our presentations at this time. Now, in case bandwidth becomes a challenge, our presenters may need to turn off their video during their presentation. So please accept our apologies and thank you for your understanding. Our first presenter in this segment, Ms. Janelle Nelson, is a certification officer at the National Certification Body of Jamaica. She has experience in the food safety and manufacturing industry, and she has been working in the certification field for over 3 years. She holds a degree in biochemistry with a minor in management study, and she is passionate about event planning. So we'll welcome at this time to cover product certification, Mrs. Janelle Nelson. Mrs. Nelson, over to you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I'll be speaking to you today about the product certifications that the National Certification Body of Jamaica offers. Due to internet challenges, I'll be turning off my camera. All right, thank you. You see my screen?
It's coming up.
Not yet.
Not as yet. Yes, yes, we're seeing it now, Janelle. Not sure if you're speaking, Janelle, but we're not hearing. Oh. All right, there seemed to be, I hope I didn't speak it into being, you know.
Teza?
Okay, yes, we're hearing you now.
Thank you. All right, sorry about that. Okay. Okay, so the agenda for today, I'll be talking to you about the programs offered and the product marks. I'll give a summary of the programs and also the benefits of these programs. And then to sum it up, we'll talk about how product certification creates sustainable growth. Okay, so sustainable growth. Sustainable growth seeks to make more of the world's people or customers, and to do so by developing markets that promote and sustain economic prosperity, social equity, and environmental integrity. And we'll get back to this at the end of the presentation. So the programs that are offered here at the NCBJ are HACCP certification program, the certification mark program, certification of agricultural produce program, the Jamaica Made Mark program, and the organic certification program. Okay, so for our HACCP program. Now, HACCP, and the term meaning hazard analysis critical control point. This is a food processing management system that addresses food safety through a preventative approach. So the program certifies food safety management systems in food processing establishments, food manufacturing establishments. One of our clients, we have Lloyd Manufacturing Company. We also certify persons in the packaging and distributing entities. We currently have a client, our customer in Trinidad, the Pouch Company, and also the Dream Pack Caribbean. So the standard that we use for this program is the Codex Alimentarius Standard, General Principles of Food Hygiene. And for companies that are in Jamaica, we also use the HACCP standard, which is the JS 317 2012, the Jamaican standard for the production of processed foods. All right, so for the HACCP program, the requirements are the company must have implemented the prerequisite programs. Those are the good manufacturing practices. The company would have to implement the 7 HACCP principles, and you can see on screen, we have principle 1, conduct a hazard analysis. Principle 2, determine the critical control points. Principle 3, establish critical limits. Principle 4, establish monitoring procedures. Principle 5, establish corrective actions. Principle 6, establish verification procedures. And Principle 7, establish record keeping and documentation procedures. And this is very important. You must document, right? The company would need to have a HACCP manual and have records for a minimum of 3 consecutive months. As when our auditors go in, they would need to verify certain things, and they would, of course, need to use your documents for this. The company would also need to be going according to regulatory requirements. So we have our National Certification Mark program, and this program encourages the provision of quality goods and services to consumers both locally and internationally. It encourages local manufacturers to establish and maintain quality systems, which will result in the production of quality goods and services and will ultimately increase profitability. Now, for this program, it has 2 marks of quality. And before I get into the 2 marks, what is a mark? So these are symbols of quality, which are awarded to products, processes, and practices which conform to the relevant standards. So for the National Certification Mark Program, we have the product mark and we also have the plant mark. So on screen, you can see examples of the marks. So for the product certification mark, this mark signifies that a product meets a defined set of requirements which is specified in the relevant standard, right? This mark is normally found on the product or its packaging. A lot of our we have paint companies that are certified to this product mark. We also have the plant certification mark, and this mark is awarded based on a company's system, that is their processes and their practices. It certifies the ability of a company or an organization to consistently supply products that conform to applicable standards. Companies certified with our plant certification mark, you wouldn't find the mark on their products. We have our certification of agricultural produce program, and the CAP program offers certification services to the agricultural sector by certifying agricultural products, standards, or other technical specifications. And here on screen, you can see an example of the CAP mark. The standard used for this program is the JCP5 2008 open field production crops. In a second. Okay, so requirements of the CAP program. So the company needs to be registered with the National Farmers Registration Program. They need to be a registered member of an established agricultural association or corporation such as RADA or the Jamaica Egg Farmers Association, etc. They need to be practicing good manufacturing or good agricultural practices, and they would need to provide evidence of a system managing the farm. We also have our Jamaica Made Mark program. Now, this is a voluntary conformity assessment program, and it was introduced to create a significant competitive edge or advantage for authentic Jamaican products of quality. Here we can see an example of the Jamaica Made Mark program, or the Made Mark. Now, this mark of quality is used to distinguish certified authentic Jamaican products, indicating that products conform to established standards. For the Jamaica Made Mark program, the qualifying criteria, now the company would need to be able to show evidence that at least 51% of their raw material is Jamaican, or that at least 70% of persons working there are Jamaican. Now, they need to have one of the above requirements and be able to demonstrate a quality system. Okay, so for our organic certification program, now this is a voluntary certification program that offers recognition that the organic farmers and agro-processors maintain integrity of production throughout the entire chain of custody. So that means from the seeds that they're planting to the very end product that is being made. So over right here, we can see an example of the organic mark requirements. Now, the company needs to be a legal entity, needs to be able to provide evidence of the organic practices according to the Jamaican Standard Code of Practice for Organic Production, JCP CRCP 09-2014. And the company needs to be listed with the National Farmers Registration Program. So what are some of the benefits of having these product certification programs? Now, they increase consumer confidence, and Lavinia was mentioning this in her presentation. Now, being certified is a mark of quality, and you'll be going according to a specific standard. And so, companies can feel confident that the products that you are supplying them with are products of quality. It reduces the possibility of contamination. Earlier in the presentation, I mentioned that HACCP is a preventative, or it takes a preventative approach. And so throughout the process, they will be looking at ways that, okay, contamination can occur here, and they'll be looking at a way to prevent this, right? Now, the programs, they ensure consistency of product quality. They help to reduce potential for system breakdown and associated food-related risk. And they will help by acceptance by markets requiring compliance to food safety systems. The programs make local and global market access easier, and consumers will be able to identify an organic certified program, and that one is related to the organic program. So, product certification, creating sustainable growth. Now, I'm going to repeat the quote that I mentioned in the beginning. Sustainable growth seeks to make more of the world's people or customers, and to do so by developing markets that promote and sustain economic prosperity, social equity, and environmental integrity. Certification opens doors to numerous opportunities. Now, in recent times, a lot of companies, supermarkets, manufacturers, both locally and internationally, they require businesses to be certified to a food safety system, whether it be HACCP, whether it be GMP. They want persons to be certified, right? As this reduces the likelihood that the items that they're supplying will have issues or be of inferior quality. When a company is certified, it means they're operating in line or in accordance to a standard. And what standards are? They're basically a set of requirements, right? So abiding by standards will allow consistent quality. Companies will have to do less rework, and they know that they're doing things, the goods that they're producing Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, Janelle, we're hearing you.
Okay, sorry about
Yes.
that. Right, so they're abiding by standards, and this will allow consistent quality, and companies will have to do, less rework, and this will result in increased profits. Having a product certification will definitely gear companies towards sustainable growth. Our organic program, in our organic program, it promotes environmental integrity and also social equity. And so being certified or getting a certification with the National Certification Body of Jamaica will definitely help you to be a sustainable company and also gear you towards sustainable growth. And that is the end of my presentation. You can see the contact information on screen.
All right, thank you so much, Janelle. Okay, so question time now. List the programs offered, the certification, the product certification programs that we offer at the NCBJ. How many can you remember? You can type your response in the chat. The product certifications that Mrs. Nelson just covered that are offered by the NCBJ. HACCP, yes. Thank you so much, Kamisha. Yes. Otley, HACCP. Good. Look like everybody remembering HACCP. CMP, Certification Mark Program. CAP, remember what CAP stands for? Certification of Agricultural Produce, JMM. I don't remember in the acronym, but I hope you remember what it stands for, JMM, the Jamaica Made Mark Program. Yes, I'm HACCP again, Organic Program, good. All right, man, listening and paying attention. Thank you so much. So I have an exciting thing coming up now. Giveaway section, giveaway segment. Everyone hearing me okay? Come on, nobody said they never hearing me. You're hearing me okay?
Yes, morning. Yes, we're hearing you.
Morning, good, good. All right, so I have a giveaway coming up. The prize is, now listen to this, a whopping 20% discount off your organization first certification service by the NCBJ as well as some BSJ tokens. Now let me repeat. 20% discount off the first certification service assessed by your business interests and some BSJ tokens. Ready for question? So you're going to type your response in the chat. Full responses will be counted as a response. So you can give me piece and then type an next piece. Full response in one message will be counted as a response. All right. Get those typing fingers ready. State the month and the year in which the National Certification Body of Jamaica, NCBJ, was established and when it was first accredited. I repeat, state the month and the year in which NCBJ was first established and when it was established and when it was first accredited. All right, team, monitoring the chat. All right, I think we have a response. Newell, yes, yes. So accredited in November 2009 and established in April 2007. All right, so Dogdry, I'm not sure if I pronounce your name right. Newell, all right, so we'll have to get your contact information. And so when you're ready to claim your prize. All right, thank you so much for your participation. Thank you. You can keep responding, although we have our winner already. We'll probably take top 3 if by any chance the first one does not qualify to receive the prize for whatever reason. Then so we'll note the top 3. Okay, team? Please just note the top 3 correct responses from the chat. Thank you so much. All right, thank you for your participation. So we were established in April 2007, and we were first accredited in November 2009. Thank you so much for your participation in that. All right, our next presenter, Navinia Wellington Ford, is a quality practitioner with extensive experience in training, inspection, and auditing of quality management and food safety system. She is the manager, of the National Certification Body of Jamaica and is passionate about food safety and quality and works assiduously in the promotion of a culture of standards and quality in Jamaica. To present on system certification programs, Mrs. Navinia Wellington Ford. Over to you, Mrs. Ford.
Good morning again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you so much for the introduction, Terza. But just to mention that we skipped one point on our agenda. We wanted to showcase our HACCP certification program along with our certified client, Lloyds. So if we could have that video, and then if we could have that video, and then I will come on. Thank you so much.
All right, sorry about that. Yes, go ahead and share the video for me, please. Sorry about that. And then we'll have Mrs. Ford.
In doing the HACCP program, the personnel here at Lloyds Manufacturing Company, our awareness is heightened in terms of safety of any product, and in particular our product here at Lloyds Manufacturing. We believe that we have now have a safer product for our consumers out there. So when they get it, we are very comfortable and happy to know that they are getting a safe product. Our company, Lloyds Manufacturing, has benefited tremendously from the HACCP program. We have learned a lot of information that relates to safety. For example, we have learned how to monitor procedure. We have learned how to do recording. We have learned how to do, for example, a record process, because we did a sample process, record process already. So we are actually here putting in the theory that we have learned into practice. Over time, we will see an increase in our customers, our buyers, because lots of the buyers like to know that we have the HACCP certification. And I think eventually we will be expanding. Therefore, we'll have more workers. Therefore, we'll have more quantity of goods. And of course, we're local now, but we're hoping to go international eventually, because the HACCP program is acceptable on the international market. So therefore, this is a good platform for us. I would surely recommend the program to others because I think it's a very good program. It's very knowledge-based and has a lot to do with safety of products. It would make companies feel more confident to have a safe product out there for their consumers, because at the end of the day, consumers have to be kept safe when they buy your product from you. We're happy at Lloyds Manufacturing that consumers are getting a safe product from Lloyds Manufacturing Company. And we're equally happy that NCBJ has certified us with the HACCP program, so we can rub shoulders on the international scene with other big companies.
All right, thank you so much. Over to you now, Mrs. Ford.
Thank you. Thank you very much. One moment, please. Can you confirm that you're seeing my screen? And it's in presentation mode?
Yes, confirming.
Okay, I think the previous presenter was having some bandwidth issue. Therefore, I will not turn on my camera at this point. So I will be building on the presentation of my colleague, Mrs. Nelson, and I will be speaking to you about the management system element of the business that we do, and how is it that we can help you sustain in terms of sustainable growth for your business. To build on the definition that Mrs. Nelson spoke on, I will say to you that when you look at sustainable growth of your business, you're also referring to strategies and activities that are geared towards growing or scaling your business. There are some factors that will prevent growth of a business. A quick search will produce, and based on the experience, some of these things are also seen. Poor customer insight, internal barriers to growth, regulatory compliance, redundancy, and poor organization. When we are looking at international management system now, we are talking about those that we currently offer. We offer the ISO 9001 and the ISO 22000. So those are the ones that we'll be speaking about today. I do recognize that we did have a comment in the chat about ISO 45001, and I will also do a quick plug here to say, listen out for more from us, because that is on our agenda to move into. So who knows, you might be the client that we will be working with to get accredited for this standard. So keep in contact with us and we will be able to provide you with that system. First up, we'll talk about ISO 22000. This is the food safety standard. And on the slide, we're saying that food business is better with ISO 22000. This standard is able to link you with all the different sections of the food chain, dependent on what it is that you are doing. So this is looking at a factory setting, and it's basically showing you using the process of repetition with the word better to show you why is it that ISO 22000 would be good for your food business if it is that you're a food business operator. You have better competence, documentation, infrastructure, leadership, teamwork, performance, planning, and processes. And you will realize that some of these were some of the things that came up when I did a quick search about things that will prevent a business from growing. If it is that you use a standard such as the ISO 22000, indeed, it will help your business to grow. It will help your business to be sustainable. It will strengthen your business. Food safety, we speak about it a lot. It tends to be a buzzword, especially if you hear about a recall or if you hear that somebody having some type of belly issue. We tend to speak about food safety, but do we really know what it means? The definition about food safety is that understanding that food will not cause harm when it is prepared or consumed. Nobody wants to buy a drink, nobody wants to buy a plate of food, consume it, and they get ill. So food safety is really about preventative approach. And as Janelle mentioned in her presentation, when you look at food safety systems, you're looking at a preventative approach. The food safety management principles are there in this standard. It's talking about how do you control the hazards that are there at the time of consumption, which is the intake of by the consumer. You have to realize that food safety hazards can occur at any stage of the food chain, and therefore implementing adequate control is very important. Using a standard such as the ISO 22000 indeed helps you to maintain control in your food operation to make sure that you are not providing or presenting a harm to your consumer. Food safety management principles now as laid out by the ISO 22000 2018, we are talking about interactive communication, a system management, prerequisite programs. And where would you already have heard prerequisite programs in this presentation? It would have been with a HACCP program that was mentioned before. And you will find that with this standard, the HACCP principles are also a part or foundation of the standard. You also have customer focus and leadership. Food safety principles in terms of ISO 22000, you are speaking about the combined elements of engaging with people, the process approach, not just what is happening in this task, but how is it linked and interrelated across the business so that your input, your change activity that's happening in the middle or your in process will give you the safe product at the end. It's also about evidence-based decision making. You don't just, while your gut feeling is relevant, your decision making must be based on evidence. And it's also about relationship management, very critical. There are many benefits to getting certified to ISO 22000. Many benefits. These are some of them. It cuts down the investigation time. Sometimes there might be a breach in your system, might be a food safety issue. If it is that you're certified, you have the strength of a system to demonstrate. So you'll find that it will cut down the time because your system will be linked to traceability. Your system will be linked to the concept of the fact that you're using such a standard and you have implemented the requirements. Customer satisfaction, very important. Also, global recognition as a reputable supplier. Again, this standard is an internationally recognized standard, and therefore your business will grow. As people in other markets, customers in other markets are looking to import goods from your country, if you are ISO 22000 certified, then this is a benefit. You get it's a proven business credential because we are an independent third-party certification body, and the certificate of conformity that we give to you is so recognized. Legal compliance, very important. When we are doing any of the certification, be it ISO 9001, be it ISO 22000, be it a HACCP certification or Global Gap, whatever it is that we are doing, we also consider legal and statutory requirements. And you will find that if you have demonstrated to your regulators that you have implemented a standard and you are maintaining the standards through certification, you will find that the risk assessment or the regulator risk assessment that they do on you, your risk rating will reduce, and you'll find that you will get less of an interaction. And of course, the ability to win more business, because we're talking to you today about growth of your business, sustainability of your business, and you're going to do that by growing your business. So this use of this standard and certification will help you. And it puts you in a position of quick response. So you will respond quickly to the situations that will happen. Anything that can compromise food safety, anything that can have an impact on your business, it provides you an avenue for you to respond quickly. Now, let's talk about, since we spoke about ISO 22000, the standard, the principles in it, and also the benefits, let's talk about quality management system, which is the ISO 9001. And it basically means, or any management system, basically means that a grouping of processes that are interrelated. So it's the processes and their interrelationship that are linked together, as what the term interrelationship means. And you control them so that you get the product and service that you want. And it must be meeting the quality standard. And that, in a nutshell, is what the whole system of quality management or management system is about. Processes, their interrelation, how they meet requirements to make sure at the end of the day, your product is safe, your product is quality, and meet customers' requirement. It is really aimed at achieving your quality policy. The standard will talk about it. It will talk about objectives, and it's also will speak about customer requirement. Because why are you in business? You are in business because you have your requirements that of your customers that you have to meet. And this standard and this system will help you to do that. Spoke already about the fact that ISO 9001 2015 is an international quality management system standard. But what I did not mention, and I will do so now, it is considered the most popular standard worldwide in terms of usership. It spans across the world. Here in the Caribbean, in North America, in South America, in Europe, in Africa, wherever you go and you mention ISO 9001 quality management system, invariably you will have clients there, you will have customers there who are using this standard. Quickly give you a snapshot of numbers in terms of certification numbers worldwide. ISO, the international body, does a survey, an annual survey. And these are the numbers. I just pull a couple of them. These are the numbers that came out of the latest survey, 2022 survey. I'm not seeing 2023 as yet, but these are the numbers that we're seeing. And you will see that the top standards are ISO 9001, ISO 14000 is the environmental management system, ISO 45,000, ISO 27,000, and ISO 22,000. Those are the top standards that are being used worldwide. And we are, as the certification body here in the region, we are providing you with two of these, ISO 9001 and ISO 22,000. ISO 14,001 and ISO 45,001 are what we are looking to provide to you. So we are gearing up to provide to you as the first internationally recognized certification body in the region. We are providing you with this service. It doesn't matter which business you're in. This standard is applicable to you. This standard can help you to grow your business. This standards can help you to have sustainability in your business. Doesn't matter which business. Again, it's the most prevalently used standard worldwide, and there must be a reason for this. Help you to grow your business, help you to sustain your business. Any business that you're operating must be thinking about their strategic planning and development and process. And just to give you a snapshot, how is it that ISO 9001 is aligned to your business? You must consider your internal and external issue. Clause 4.1 in the standard speaks to that. Your quality policy supports your strategic decision. Clause 5.2. Objectives. You can't have your strategic plan. You can't put your business in place without having your objectives and targets. And therefore, this standard is there for you. Planning in order to achieve your results. Clause 622 speaks about this. A business, you must have a plan. There is a popular quote that says, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Therefore, you must plan. Top management, it speaks to about top management, the management team conducting a self-review. It makes no sense you put a plan in place and you don't check at periodic times. You must check. And therefore, top management review, very important. And of course, monitoring and measuring. You must monitor and check against the plans that you have put in place. And therefore, we are saying to you that this standard ISO 9001 indeed can help your business to strengthen, help your business to grow, and help you to have a sustainable business. But why standardization? Because as you are looking to grow your business, as you're looking to sustain your business, you want to reduce waste. You want to increase customers who are satisfied. You want to improve profitability. And of course, you want to reduce any issue with quality. Business operations, when you are working your day-to-day processes, sometimes not all operations will be alike in any business. However, there are some things that are common, such as planning and organizing. And when you look at your business operation, the standard will help you because you want to look at things that are repeatable. You want to look at things that are reproducible. And that is what standardization will be about. your business will grow through standardization because you're going to have reduction in redundancy. You're going to have a reduction in the amount of rework that you have to do, the reduction in the amount of waste from spoilage that is there. And that is one of the reasons why we're talking to you about standard, the use of these standards to make sure that we are on board with you in terms of growth of business and sustainability. Who determines standard? Who determines quality? That's a question that we ask commonly, and a lot of times we might not realize it, but the reality is that it is your customer. While us as the service providers and the manufacturers will set the quality parameters and so on, the consumers are the market will determine quality. When we're talking about quality here, we're talking about fit for purpose. A consumer, a buyer, basically is saying to you that you must guarantee me certain requirement. It's your customer guarantee. It means that in the height of summer, if I buy an AC unit from you in the height of summer and put it in my room, it means that I should be cool. That's my expectation, and that is the guarantee that I intend to get from you. So when we talk about fit for purpose here, we are talking about quality. And we are talking about how is it that you're going to demonstrate to your consumers that you will give them the customer guarantee, and that your service and your product will meet their specified expectations. Business growth and sustainability, we have been mentioning it throughout our discussion. We are saying to you that using standard operating procedures that are linked to any of the standards and the certification program that we spoke about today will help you to support and maintain your business. It is a step-by-step instruction on how to carry out your task. It don't have to be written. It can be a picture. It can be a diagram. One of the most common work instruction or procedure that a lot of us know about, and I always speak about it, is the hand wash procedure, how to wash your hand. You will see it is one of the most common procedure, and it's not written. It's really just pictures carrying you out on how to do what it is that you're doing. So what we're saying to you is that for business growth and sustainability, it's going to be linked to routine. It's going to be linked to standardizing your processes, and you're going to find that when you do this, you're going to get the same result all the time. It's going to reduce quality issue, reduce downtime, reduce error, and of course, increase efficiency. And if you increase efficiency and you have reduction in those areas that I just spoke about, you're going to see that your business is going to grow and your sustainability margin is going to increase. Quality awareness, it's about promoting the quality culture, the food safety culture. It's about how is it that we get employees, we get everybody that interact with our business to buy into the quality of the concept of quality, right? So, but quality is more than just buying. It's about embracing it fully. It's about quality culture. Everything that you do from all levels of your organization must be linked to being aware and embracing the quality culture or the food safety culture. Business sustainability, we're saying get moving. You know your company, you know your people, you know what is it that you want to achieve. Engage your people. Use these standards that we are presenting to you today. Use them to engage your people. And there is beauty in routine. A lot of times we will do routine and we say, boy, I'm bored. But I'm here to say from a certification standpoint, us doing the audits, I'm saying to you that there is a beauty in routine. Implementing the standard is the first step. Getting certified is the second step. But maintenance, and that is where routine comes in. Maintenance is the ultimate step. Because when we come to you, it's one thing for us to certify you, give you your stage 1 audit, give you your stage 2 audit, and get you certified. When we come to check you at surveillance 1 year from then, have you been maintaining a system? Right? And that is why we say that maintenance is the ultimate step. And maintenance is achieved through routine. Quality is achieved through routine. Therefore, we encourage you to build quality in your process. Multiple different types of business across multiple different types of industry. What is common, what is important about this standard is that it is able to be used in any of these businesses, in any of these industry. For the certification body, we have more than 20 industry schools that we are accredited to offer you in the ISO 9001. You're in construction, we can offer you certification. You're in health services, we can get you certified. Any industry within our accreditation school, we can get you certified. If we don't have your industry scope, talk to us. We will get our accreditation body to audit us and give us that scope so that we can give you that scope. Users are demanding that their products and services meet their expectation. How are you going to meet their expectation? You will do this through the use of standards as you grow your business to make sure your business is sustainable. If you don't grow your business, if you don't look for sustainability, your business is going to stagnate. And if your business stagnates, then it's going to go downhill. So we as a certification body, we're here to say to you that through the use of standards, through the use of certification services that we provide, you can grow your business and look for sustainability. Again, these standards, this system will see a reduction in waste and downtime, improvement in efficiencies, reduction in redundancy, improvement in quality, and of course, improvement in customer satisfaction. There are different businesses doing the same thing that you're doing. I mentioned it already when I did my introductory presentation. I will emphasize it. Why should a customer buy your goods and services over theirs? What will separate you from the others? It's about quality. Right? Are you ready? Are you ready? Implementing a management system. We speak about the continuous improvement cycle. When you're looking at your business, you want to define your management system. Know the standard that will work best for you. If you're a food business operator, ISO 22000 or the HACCP can work for you. If it is that you are in any other industry, then the ISO 9001 will work for you. Understand your process and develop it. Document your management system, document your standard operating procedure, do your monitoring and measurement in terms of your internal audit, your management review. And of course, as I mentioned before, your plan, do, check, act cycle, continuous improvement. You plan it, you do it, you check it, and you start all over again. These are some of the benefits of using a standard such as the ISO 9001, better performance, better integration of risk management, lower quality of costs, improvement on processes, and safer work environment. And some right below the chart, these are some of the statistics using objective evidence, using case studies to support why these are benefits of getting certified to this standard. Certification on the use of a standardized and a stronger company invites investors to your business. You want to look in terms of being investor friendly. So what structure is your company built on? Right? Confidence and protections are key for investors. What is your business plan communicated? Through the use of standards and being certified, you will send the right message to your business. Quality culture and investor friendliness, very important. You as the leaders, you as the entrepreneur, you as owners, you set the culture of your business. What is your quality culture? What is your food safety culture, right? Are you using best practices? So are you looking at improved productivity, improved profitability, improved customer satisfaction? Are you creating market access? Are you building support for your team? If it is that you are looking forward to these, then we encourage you to look at these standards to help you to grow your business towards sustainability. So in closing, I will say to you that using a standard and being certified, implementing a management system standard such as the ISO 9001 and the ISO 22000, implementing and maintaining a robust system will increase efficiencies, increase quality, reduce costs, increase customer satisfaction, and create market access. Certification, a third-party certification that we offer, is independent, it's impartial, and it has market acceptability. Remember, I said before, certified once, accepted worldwide. Is this something that you are interested in? If it is, then we stand ready to serve you. Certification is a tool that will demonstrate to your customers and your stakeholders how important you see quality, how confident you are in your business. So continue to grow your business, continue to have sustainability built into your business by using these standards and by being certified. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ford. All right, quick question. Based on Mrs. Ford's presentation, who determines what is considered quality in a business? She repeated it a couple of times. Who determines what is considered quality in a business? The customers, the clients. Yes, correct. You are listening. All right, at this time, we'll have a video presentation on implementing the ISO 9001 standards, after which we'll have a question and answer segment. So please start typing your questions in the chat. We already saw some. We'll be responding accordingly. So go ahead and type your questions during this video and we'll get right to it.
Welcome to the ISO 9001 Awareness Training, brought to you by Anscorp. ISO 9001-2015 provides a set of standardized requirements for a quality management system, which is flexible enough to be used for all sizes and kinds of businesses. Using ISO 9001-2015 helps ensure that customers get consistent, good quality products and services, which in turn brings many business benefits. The ISO 9001-2015 standard is based on Annex SL. This new high-level structure brings a common framework to all management systems and standards. This helps to keep consistency and alignment with different management system standards, often matching subclauses against the top-level structure while applying common language across all the standards in place. The high-level structure of the ISO 9001-2015 standard are Scope, Clause 1, Normative References, Clause 2, Terms and Definitions, Clause 3, Context of the Organization, Clause 4. Leadership, Clause 5, Planning, Clause 6, Support, Clause 7, Operation, Clause 8, Performance Evaluation, Clause 9, and Improvement, Clause 10. Clause 4 to Clause 10 are the only clauses which have specific requirements that the organization needs for an implementation. The best way to view the ISO 9001 Quality Management System requirements is through a Plan, Do, Check, Act approach. As the picture shown below, the separate processes are being linked in one large cycle for its improvement. It starts with understanding the context of the organization and the needs of interested parties in the QMS, which is used to define the scope of the QMS and its processes. followed by the commitment of leadership in the company to drive the organization to a customer focus by defining the organizational roles and responsibilities and by establishing a quality policy to give the overall QMS a focus. The next level of planning is to identify and address risks and opportunities of the QMS, including setting and planning for quality objectives and changes to support continual improvement. Now is the time when the QMS moves along with your business activities. The organization needs to provide the support structure to allow you to run the business effectively as planned. This includes resources, identifying competence, awareness, communication, and to set the processes for creation and control of documented information. Once the company has processes, controls, and supports in place, it is time to identify controls for the operation, product or service requirements, designs developed, controls placed on externally provided processes, products, and services. The process of producing the product or service needs to be carried out with control of product and service release. Any non-conforming products or services need to be addressed. In short, the activities of creating and providing products or services to meet the needs of your customers needs to be accomplished. There is a need to monitor, measure, analyze, and evaluate the products or services to ensure they meet requirements, the processes used are adequate and effective, and customer satisfaction is being met. Further is the management review process, which reviews and assesses all of the monitored data to make changes and plans to address the issues. This involves the actions needed to address any issues found in the check step. Improvement is the overall heading for these action steps, with the activities of addressing nonconformity and corrective actions to eliminate the causes of actual or potential nonconformities as the first step in acting to improve the system. The goal of a QMS is to work toward improvement for the company, because only through improvement will a company be able to compete in industries that are growing ever more competitive. There are other numerous benefits of the ISO 9001 standard. It allows you to become a more consistent competitor in your marketplace. Better quality management will also help you meet the needs of your customers. More efficient ways of working will save time, effort, money, and resources. Improved operational performance will also cut errors and increase profits. You will motivate and engage your staff with more efficient internal processes. You will likely win more high-level customers with your improved customer service. Lastly, you can broaden business opportunities by demonstrating compliance to an ISO 9001-2015 quality management system. For more information on
Thank you so much. All right, so we saw in that video the various segments and implementing ISO 9001. All right, so we'll go into our question and answer segment at this time. We'll take about 30 minutes or so to answer any questions you may have. The presentations will be shared. So we encourage you, we'll be sharing a post survey. So we encourage you to add your email address in that survey and we'll share the presentations with you accordingly. So we'll get to our questions in the chat at this time. All right, so Robert had asked, let me scroll back up to that one. All right, so I answered about the presentation being shared. Do you send us a list of requirements outlining what requirements you will be coming to observe? And that's the first question. So Mrs. Ford, I'm going to ask you to take this one. And secondly, he's asking, do you work with us if we didn't get certified at first to eventually be certified? Mrs. Ford, can you respond to Richard's question?
Yes, thank you so much, Teresa. So I missed that question. I was answering some in the chat, but I might have missed that one. So the first part of the question is if we send the requirements, am I correct?
Yes, the requirements that they will be assessed on.
Okay, so the requirements that our companies assessed on is the standard itself. And that's one of the things that I love about certification. There's no secret. It's not that the auditor is coming to catch you to say, oh, I'm coming, aha. It's not aha, I catch you moment. You know the requirements that are in the standard. So you will get a copy of the standard for yourself. You can access that through your standards body. In Jamaica, our standards bodies, the Bureau of Standards Jamaica, depends on where you are. You can access it from your standards body there. They would be able to provide you with a copy of that standard. You then will implement it, interpret the requirements and implement it in your system. So we don't give you the requirements that we're going to audit you against per se because it's already laid out in the standard. However, when we are engaging with you, we have what is referred to as a self-assessment form, and we will give that to you, or a certification preparedness checklist that we will send to you. And this will give you a guide as to what is it that will be looked at and considered during the certification process. And it also, when you share that with us, it also gives us an understanding or an appreciation of where you are in your certification journey if you are ready for certification. So that's the first part of the question. The second part is that if we work with you, if you don't get certified.
Yes.
Let me answer it this way. We work with you in the sense that we give you time. If we conduct an audit of your system and you have not met all the requirements, if there are what we refer to as non-conformity, which is basically non-fulfillment of a requirement, we give you time to complete your process. However, we don't work with you in terms of helping you to fix what caused the breach or what resulted in the non-fulfillment. We could not do that because it would be a conflict of interest. However, there are organizations that would be able to help you. I can speak in terms of the context of Jamaica. In Jamaica, I do know that our Bureau of Standards have a client services program that will help company in that instance. I know that the other Bureau of Standards across the region, I'm not sure where the persons, the audience are from, but if they're from the region, I do know that the Bureau of Standards in Trinidad will also give some amount of help. In Guyana, they also help, and in Barbados, they will also give help. So there are some entities at the Bureau of Standards that will provide some amount of help with implementation in the countries.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Ford. All right, next question from Lennox. You still want us to go through the question you answered for the purpose of?
Well, I could. I did put the answers in the chat, but I could if the other members of the audience have not seen the response.
All right, so let's read the question and you can repeat the response that you gave. What is the best, Lennox is asking, what is the best way to market ISO 9001? Also, can my product or service be tagged with the certification marks /stamps?
Okay. Thank you. The best way, one of the best way that we will say to any business, regardless of size, put it on all of your interface. Anything that you have to interface with your customers, anything that you have to interface with your stakeholder, put your certification there. You see, similar to the tick that you're seeing behind me and that award mark, we have clients that have created a similar thing for themselves where they say that they're ISO 9001 certified and they will link it to the certification body and put it out there. So one of the best way to do it is link it to your social media profiles, your sorry, senior moment, website, link it to your website. Put it. We have clients that have put it in their signature line for their emails. So you can go as low budget as you want or as high budget as you want. We have also seen clients that have put on the front of their businesses that they're ISO 9001 certified, ISO 22000 certified. So I would say those are some of the best ways for you to promote and demonstrate that your business is certified. Now, since the ISO 9001 is a system certification, it cannot be linked, it can't be put on your product label. So what you do is you put it on your letterhead, you put it on everything. You could say that this product or this process was made in an ISO 9001 certified company, but you cannot give any inference as if it's the product itself that is certified. So we do have that separation as we speak to our clients. But definitely your social media sites, your websites, your letterheads, your business cards, your brochures, your QR code, whatever it is that you use, add it to it. And we do give you a mark. We give you a mark that is referred to as mark of conformity, and you can use it as you promote. And you can create your own. As I said, a customer did create something similar where they would say ISO 9001 certified.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Ford. Our next question is from Mr. Collins. Is there any indication or projection as to when there will be an updated version of the ISO 9001 standard?
Thank you very much. Yes. So for information or knowledge sharing purposes, a standard have a life cycle of 5 years. A standard is usually reviewed every 5 years. However, when it was time for the ISO 9001 2015 version to be reviewed, that was the COVID period. And therefore, there was some amount of bottleneck happening. It wasn't able to be reviewed, but a decision was taken to make it remain current. I'm happy to report that we are, in fact, having a revision process going on now. It started in December 2023. It is on a fast track timeline of 24 months. So the expectation is that the revised standard will be ready in 2025. Then you'll have a transition period that is expected that certified clients will transition to the newest version, and our auditors will also transition their competency in that area too.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so the final question I'm seeing from Natalie, if a company is already certified with another certifying body, can the company switch to NCBJ for recertification?
Natalie, can I do a resounding yes? I know I answered you in the chat, but can I do a resounding yes? We can't do a resounding yet. So we can certify new clients that are just getting certified. We can certify clients that were already certified. When we are certifying a client that was already certified, we do a process that is called, in the language of certification, body transfer of certification, which is really what it says. You're going to be transferring your certification from the body that you were working with originally to us. And then we will take you through the recertification process. There are some requirements that must be met, and we would speak to those requirements with you. It's the use of the standard. Make sure that you're not leaving the certification body because of any disrepute type of situation, or any high risk situation, or any fraudulent situation. Those are the type of context that you speak about, but as long as everything's above board, we will accept your transfer of certification. So yes, if you are currently on the call, if you are in Jamaica, if you're across the region and you're certified by another certification body, we too, as a certification body here in the region, want to talk about business growth, and we want to talk about sustainability. We can only grow and we can only be sustained if our businesses in our region use our service. Why build the North American region? Why build the other regions? Build the Caribbean region. So come to the certification body, National Certification Body of Jamaica, and we will certify you.
All right, thank you. I see one more question coming from Lennox. When you think the NCBJ can have 45,001 and 14,001 accreditation for certification?
Okay, thank you so much. So those, they are on, you remember we spoke about this whole strategic direction and linking it to ISO 9001 in the presentation. So I'm going to give you an example of our strategic direction now that we are on. So we do have it on our plan to build it out for not this current financial year. We're doing some of the groundwork in this current financial year, but we are building out further in next financial year, which is the 2025. I won't say that we will have both of them at the same time, but more than likely we will have one of them. The one that we're seeing a greater demand in the market for, that is the one that we will have to offer you in our expectation is 2025. Remember now, you put a plan in place and then you do your evaluation. So our plan is for 2025. Hopefully, when we do our evaluation, we will meet 2025.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Ford. And I think those are the questions we're seeing in the chat. Anyone else has any other question that we will get to? Oh, the person is asking for 22,001 as well. 27, sorry. 27,001,
yes,
sorry.
that too is on our agenda. So let me put it right out there. That's on our agenda. And I'm going to talk candidly and openly. I do know that we have other certification bodies. We do have other competitors, but the reality is that you have to separate yourself from the others using quality, right? So what is going to let you come to us, and it's going to be our quality of service. So we don't have a problem speaking about our plans that we have coming up, because we want to meet your needs that you're requesting. So what we have on our agenda: ISO 45,001, ISO 14,001, ISO 27,001. Am I missing anything, Teresa? In terms of management system, I think those are the three I'm remembering off the top of my head. No, the first one out of the gate, the first one that we bring to market is really going to be dependent on the needs that we are seeing. I know that in Jamaica, we do have the Data Protection Act that's very topical, and persons are, being very conscious of the ISO 27,001. So give us your response. Let us know which one you are needing more, and that is the one that we will bring to the market first.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Ford. At this time, Chad saying we need 45,001. All right, we hear you, Chad. We hear you, Mr. Chambers. All right, so at this time, we'll be issuing our survey, or post-survey and feedback. We're encouraging you to please give us your responses. Your feedback and responses are important to us, and it helps us to improve our services. And so please take a few minutes to complete the survey if you have not yet done so. That has been posted in the chat. So we'll give you a few moments to complete that survey kindly. Thank you so much in advance. All right, thank you. Completed, seeing that, thank you. So I see it's saying 50 persons online, so I want to see 50 completed. Or when we check our software, we see that the responses are, everyone has given us a response. Please, we're requesting. Your feedback is very important to us. Completed, thank you so much. All right, thank you, Mr. Collins. Yes, well, it's similar, but it's a different survey, slightly different. We're requesting some more feedback after the presentations. So just kindly take a few minutes to complete it.
Unfortunately, I'm not being able to access mine.
Not being able to, not sure why. Team, can you repost so she could try again to see? Thank you, Shamar, thank you. Try again for me, Natalie, let's see. Yes, keep those responses coming in.
Maybe you might have to send it to my email after the session, if that's okay.
All right. Yes. You can either email us your email, or if you don't mind placing it in the chat and we'll note it. Not sure why it's not opening for you.
Teresa, who is speaking? I didn't pick up the.
Natalie, let me get your last name.
Is it our Natalie?
Headley. Headley.
All right,
Natalie Headley, yes.
All right, no problem.
Oh, I'm seeing your email in your contact. Let me copy that.
Yeah, we'll send it through to her.
All right. All right, so no worries.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, another 5 minutes or so. Thank you to those who have already completed it. For those who are in process of completing same, thank you. All right, while you complete the survey, after the presentations and discussions this morning, I'm sure you all will agree with me that certification will allow your organization to have that competitive edge, and that the National Certification Body of Jamaica will be your choice in facilitating sustainable growth within your organization. So thank you to our presenters, our technical team, and everyone who took the time to attend today's session. And indeed, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And we ask you to join us on October 15 for our next stakeholder session. More information to come. And please follow us on our social media platforms. We're on X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And those handles have been shared in the chat for your information. So thank you so much to everyone who has come out, this morning to be a part of our stakeholder session as we see how the National Certification Body of Jamaica facilitates sustainable growth through certification. So just complete that post survey for us before you go. Your feedback is very important to us. It assists us in improving our services. Remember, you're our customers, you know, so you determine the quality, you know, so we need your feedback to tell us, all right? All right. You're welcome. Thank you all for a great session. Thank you, Mr. Newell. Thank you so much. Reminder for the next session, Mr. Smith, you said send reminder ahead of time for the next session. Clarify if that's what you were asking, you were saying. All right, thank you for completing the survey. Okay. See, Anne-Marie saying completed. I will be in touch upon the completion of a report for a case to acquire certification at SVGTA. Does that stand for St. Vincent and the Grenadines? I'm not sure. Travel Authority, am I guessing wrong? Or Trade Association? Anne-Marie, let me know if that acronym is what I'm guessing it to be. You're welcome, Dawn. Thank you for the presentation. Very informative. We're glad to hear. So glad to hear. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Tourism Authority. Almost get it. Almost get it. Anne-Marie, almost got it. All right, looking forward to hearing from you, Anne-Marie. Definitely. All right, everyone, please complete the survey for us before you go. And thank you once again for coming out. See you on October 15 for our next session. Yes, and I hope by then we have a few applications in hand for certification, all right? And a few contracts being signed, all right?